What is so many extra?
I have extra too. Is the back today?
Wait, these will be
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So today we will be reviewing the degree evaluation. So like I said, 2 example degree evaluations, and then we're going to have a getting to know the degree evaluation activity. Okay, before we do that, the socks of the week are courtesy of the San Diego Zoo and their elephant socks. Okay. So, the degree evaluation. So the degree evaluation is a document that outlines all requirements needed to graduate from SDSU. We consider it a living document because it updates itself whenever a course or a requirement is completed. It's personalized to each student to include whatever courses he or she may have already taken to fulfill each requirement or may have taken. So today we're going to go over the degree evaluation. We'll review all of the requirements that we've discussed in previous sessions. So all 9 graduation requirements are in the degree evaluation. So there's some reasons why this is so important in particular. So we want to familiarize you with how everything you have learned so far is listed on this document. And because I want to solidify your understanding of all the information, this is the big picture of everything that you've learned over the last several trainings. So we need you to know how to read the degree evaluation. It's one of the most helpful documents that we have when we're advising students, particularly in the computer labs at orientation. So most continuing SDSU students can access their degree evaluations from their web portal account. Some exceptions are double majors or double minors, or some majors that are not encoded are not available to view through the web portal. Students can also have a copy printed at the advising center in most cases. So the examples that I handed you out, these degree evaluations look like the printed copy that the students will receive at orientation. The version on the web portal is color-coded. Some students find that version easier to read. The requirements that haven't been completed are in red, the requirements that have are in green. It's the same exact information as is on the printed evaluation, it's just a different format. So we should have, and if somebody could help me out by verifying this with me, example 1 should be a philosophy first-time freshman. Is that all right? Okay, thank you. They have AP Spanish credit in Foundations Humanities Area 5. The next one is a sociology major. Is that right? Example 2, perfect, great. That's a transfer student with GE certification and other issues that you're likely going to see with transfer students at orientation. This isn't in your handout, it's only on the slides. We'll also be talking about a mechanical engineering major to see their specialized GE pattern. So we've gone over the personal information sheets and the maps. So those are 2 tools that freshman students will receive at orientation to help them understand their degree evaluation or degree requirements and to help them select their classes. The 3rd tool is a degree evaluation. Okay, so all freshmen will get a personal information sheet, a map, and a degree evaluation in their folder. All transfers will get a map and a degree evaluation. Any questions on that? Yes?
Is it all freshmen get a map, degree evaluation,
And a personal information sheet. Yep. And all transfers get a map and a degree evaluation. Okay. So for new students, freshmen can access their degree evaluation in web portal on the first day of classes. Transfers will have their degree evaluation released to them on web portal during the fall semester. So Advising and Evaluations has to review transfer courses for accuracy and to make sure students' transfer courses have been applied to the appropriate areas of their degree evaluation before we can make it available to them online. They'll receive a notification in web portal once it's been released. In the meantime, if they lose the one they received at orientation, they can come into the advising center and we'll print them another copy. Okay, so we're going to go through the entire first example, the sociology major. Well, that's not on the first page, up on top, you have all the students' information, so their name, their ID. In the center there will be their major, and what type of degree they're pursuing. And then on the right-hand side, we'll have their catalog year, and their GE year, catalog year, major and GE catalog year. On the first page on the left-hand side is firstly some contact information for advising and evaluations. Underneath that is a legend. This legend will assist them in reading their degree evaluation. So it kind of explains some things. So if a box says no, and remember, every box on this evaluation represents a graduation requirement. So if the box says no, that means the requirement's not complete. It could say no, it could say okay, or it could have plus and minuses. So if it's not complete and it says no, then you need to look further into the box. If there's multiple requirements within the box, maybe some are complete but not all. The ones that are complete will have a plus sign, the ones that still need to be completed will have a minus sign. And then there's the key goes on to say what different letters that they may see attached to a class, what those letters mean. Okay, underneath the legend is when we begin with our competency requirements. Next up is the graduation writing assessment requirement. And this will tell them what all the various scores mean. Beneath that is the American Institutions requirement. Underneath that, if the major requires a language requirement, it will be listed there. So this was a student that had AP credit. So this is our first example of where we can see that AP credit plugged in. It cleared their language requirement. Okay?
Where?
See it?
Philosophy or sociology?
Philosophy. Example 1. Does everyone see it?
That one says sociology, I think. That's
Oh, yeah, sorry. Just, we're not going on the PowerPoint. I'm just having you go through that was last slide. So I'm just going through this is not on the PowerPoint. So we're just going through the evaluation together. All right. Next up is the unit, resident, and GPA requirements. Okay, and then begins general education requirements. So it tells them how many are required minimum. It tells them how many they need to complete at SDSU. And it talks about the upper division general education units. And that's one of many places the student will yet again be reminded not to take upper division GE, the explorations, until they're earning 60 units. So beneath that is the first part is communication and critical thinking. So just like in the catalog, it just goes in order. So one course from oral communication, one from composition, one from intermediate composition. Next up, the foundations area starts. So all the lower division GE. And we have physical science, life science, lab science, and math. For a freshman, out of the courses we just talked about, which 4 are required registration? That whole section, yep. So oral communication, intermediate composition, and math. Okay, next up is foundation, social, and behavioral science. So if the student is following a standard pattern, which this student is following a standard pattern, they'll select 2 courses from 2 different departments from this list. After that is Foundations Humanities. So they'll select a course from 4 of the following 5 areas. Do they already have credit? Yeah, they had AP credit, so that already took care of one of their Foundations Humanities, area 5. So they only have 3 more to take. Okay. After that begins the upper division GE. So when the student is able to, they'll take 1 class from the 3 areas. So 1 from natural sciences, 1 from social and behavioral, 1 from humanities. One of the 3 has to be culturally diverse. If you're looking at the degree evaluation, the culturally diverse courses are marked with a plus sign. If you're looking in the catalog, they're marked with an asterisk. And where is it marked on the class schedule? Anybody? Anybody? Where on the class schedule is it marked if the class is culturally diverse? No, it's not. It's not marked on the class schedule. It's, I had to try to trick you. It's only in the degree evaluation and the catalog. So catalog, asterisk, degree evaluation, plus sign. It's not indicated in the class schedule. Okay. Obviously with freshmen, we're not gonna spend a lot of time talking about upper division GE. With transfers, you're gonna spend a lot of time talking about upper division GE, the exploration. So with transfers, it's gonna be more relevant to remind them, don't forget, one of the three has to be culturally diverse and how to find those courses. Okay, then next up will be the major requirements. So first we'll talk about the impacted program pre-major. Then will be the preparation for the major. And then underneath that will be the major requirements. At the end, under academic coursework, will be a chronological list of all courses the student has taken. Obviously, the student only has a couple of courses. And then beneath that will be if they have transfer credits, and then their total units earned. And then once they start taking courses at SDSU, you'll see an SDSU block for credits and GPA. Any questions on that? Pretty standard, right? Yes.
All those courses under like math and quantitative reasoning, are those all going to be the same for all students, or is it gonna differ based on major? Cause like for the, I know for like the comm classes, it's like, for every student, it's gonna be like AFRES, Chicano Studies, Comm 103. Is that the same for the math?
So, oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the classes, just like in the catalog, how every single class that could fit into that area is put in there, that's the same on the degree evaluation. Where you go to find out if they have a specific course would be the end of the degree evaluation underneath like the prep for major, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Because then they'll be able to see, oh, I need Psych 280, then they can go back to GE Math and see, oh, that's my GE Math as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so hypothetically speaking, like, all those classes under math, quantitative reasoning, all those listed on that degree evaluation, you have to satisfy the ELM prior to taking any of those.
Yes.
Okay, so that makes it easier.
Yes, because they're GE Math.
Okay.
Yeah, and before you're allowed to take a GE course, you have to fulfill any remediation, yeah, any other competencies, that's perfect.
And then all those are gonna be the same if I'm a criminal justice major, like, I'm gonna see all these math
You're gonna
classes
see all of them,
first,
yeah.
okay.
But there may be specific ones that you have to take for your GE, yep. And that's why, remember Eunice mentioned to you that we were trying to get away from, when we're talking to students, just focusing on that like Math 141, for example.
All of them.
Because there's all these courses you can take, yeah. So that's a great question. If a student says to you while they're trying to personalize their math and they say, it just says GE Math, how do I know what to take? You can show them on your degree evaluation. Look, you have all these to pick from. The only thing you want to remind them of is what?
Clicking prerequisite?
Prerequisite, that's exactly right. Yeah, because maybe Math 150 sounds like a good idea to them, and then they look in the catalog and say, oh wait, I don't have the prerequisites, why would I take that? Any other questions on that? All right. We're gonna go into a break, so we can be back at 3:55.